What's up, guys? We are back. We're looking at some more NFL plays today over on PrizePicks. We got some Monday Night Football, 2 games, 2 plays. Let's hop in and let's stay cashing. Week 4 has been pretty interesting for us so far. Had some ups and downs on the main plays. However, we've been cashing out some correlated 8x plays right there. This was our protected play on PrizePicks. Was able to cash out for 8x there. Also cashed out our PrizePicks free square for 5x. So we've had a pretty good week so far overall, counting in those kind of long shot plays. I'm going to have some more correlation up on the DubClub a little bit later, which brings me to this next point. Join the DubClub. You guys can get it right now 2 days for free and get all my plays sent straight to you. Like I said, it's a 2-day free trial. You can cancel at any time. Join down in my description. I'm over $5,000 of profit on PrizePicks. I've been doing this for a while. I know what I'm doing. I'm not one of those guys out there that are actually losing and selling their plays. Clearly, I'm up and not profitable. I'm also profitable on Sleeper, Chalkboard, Underdog, and Sportsbooks. If you've already used that free trial or you just rather join right now because also the NBA is coming around really soon, less than a month away, you can join right now for the next month for 50% off. So both options are down in my description. 2 days for free or just join right now for cheaper, 50% off of your first month. And one final thing before we get to these plays, that if you want to research plays for yourself, the tool that I personally use is called Outlier. I really love this tool a lot. I use it every single day when researching plays for myself. And there's a 7-day free trial for this tool down in my description. And again, you can cancel that free trial at any time. I'll be using this tool in the video. So if you like what you see from this tool, you can get it for yourself with that free trial down in my description. Use my promo link down there. And now with that out of the way, let's get to these free plays. Just play responsibly and at your own risk. Leave a like on the video and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Most important thing though is having those post notifications turned on. Let's get into it here. The first play that I like for this video is going to be over in the receiving yards category. We're going to go with the late game starting off here. Then we're going to go with the play in the early game. So I got to play for both games. In the receiving yards here, I'm going to scroll down until we find JSN over receiving yards here at 50.5. He's also at 48.5 on some other apps as well. So if you're on other apps, he'll be a little bit cheaper on potentially that app. You see what he's done this year in his last 5 games. This year, he has 19, 117, and 39 receiving yards. Completely different games in these 3 games for sure. But there's something in particular that I absolutely love about JSN today, which I'll talk about in just a second here. But like I said, he's over in 1 out of 3 games this year. And this should be a great matchup against rank 24th in receiving yards allowed per game this year. And against receivers, they rank 31st. They are allowing the second most receiving yards per game to opposing wide receivers. And if you take a look at how other receivers have been against this team, they're allowing multiple receivers to just absolutely destroy them. Marvin Harrison, 64 receiving yards. Michael Wilson, also 64 receiving yards. Even Greg Dortch went for 35 receiving yards there. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, 42 and 117 receiving yards. The Rams had multiple receivers just go crazy. I mean, they had Puka Nacua before he got hurt with 35. Tyler Johnson with 79. Demarcus Robinson with 42. And Cooper Kupp with 110. So receivers have been going crazy against the Detroit Lions team. I expect that to continue today for Seattle with so many good receivers on their team. I think JSN is going to be one of those guys with 50+ receiving yards here. But JSN, though, is particularly good against man coverage, and especially getting targeted against man coverage. You can see what he's done against man this year. He has a target rate of 44.4%. He's getting targeted nearly 50% of the time when the team he's playing is running man coverage. That's ridiculous considering the Lions, they run man coverage the 3rd most in the NFL this entire season. That is a huge, great sign. That's a huge green flag for us here in the over for JSN and receiving yards. If they continue to run man coverage about 40% of the time, which again ranks 3rd in the NFL, he's going to see a ton of targets in this game here. And his targets have been all over the place, by the way. 2 targets, 16 targets, and 3 targets. So if we're really going to see those high of target numbers, this is a great thing here for JSN is what I'm trying to say. When Njigba has 5+ targets, he's been very good in his career, especially as of late, because there's some games starting off in his rookie season where he just wasn't as great, but you can see all the more recent games here where he's had 50+ receiving yards when he does get those high amount of targets. And I'm expecting 5+. I mean, he can even go for about 7 targets in this one here. I think the books are expecting him to see a ton of targets as well. I mean, his receptions line here is 4.5, which is a great sign here, which means you should probably be getting around 5 targets at least here. His targets line on some other apps is 7 right now, so we should be able to see, 5, 6, 7 targets here from Njigba, if not even more than that. His target rate, like I said, is insane versus man coverage. As long as he's actually catching the ball, which he's clearly been able to do this year when targeted, I don't see why I can't cover this line in one of the best possible matchups for receiving yards as well. So love the spot here for Njigba. I also like the over 4.5 receptions. I think that's a really nice spot as well. And they do allow the most receptions per game to wide receivers this season. I think it should be a really nice spot for Njigba in his over receptions or also over his receiving yards at 48 to 50.5. Before we get into my next play, a lot of people out there do not know that DraftKings actually has their own DFS Pick'em app, and I personally love it a lot. And all you have to do for your welcome offer is just play $5 and you get up to $50 instantly in DraftKings Pick6 credits with promo code DOMG. So join for yourself. Down in my description, it's available in most states, and there are a lot of really nice looking numbers on some of these guys here. Like for example, in the receptions category here, if we go over to receptions, you can see here Amon-Ra St. Brown is at 6.5 receptions. You can see here that Amon-Ra St. Brown is at 6.5 receptions, when on a lot of other apps, he's actually at 7 receptions, or, give a lot worse of a payout at 6.5 receptions. So DraftKings Pick6, absolutely love it. Get it for yourself down in my description. Use promo code DOMG. And again, that will allow you to only play $5 and get up to $50 in DraftKings Pick6 credits. All right, now getting into my next play here, let's head over to the rushing yards category here. And in the rushing yards, we're going to scroll down until we find Tyler Huntley over rushing yards here. You can find this one a little bit cheaper on some other apps, like about 29.5, 30.5, but I'm also okay with the over 31.5. Let's take a look at why here, though. Obviously, we do not have a very large sample size here for Tyler Huntley because he's played backup quarterback basically his entire career. And his most recent game was actually last year against the Steelers, where he did actually have 40 rushing yards. That was really his only true start last year. He's really only had 2 starts, true starts, in the last 2 NFL seasons here. So, but his rushing attempts line here is actually pretty telling for us here. His rush attempts line is actually going to be 7.5, which I think is a really good thing here. And like I said, in his last game, he had 8 rush attempts, which went for about 40 rushing yards. And the Titans, they allow about the 5th most rushing yards per game to opposing quarterbacks. And somewhat of a comparable quarterback in Malik Willis had 73 rushing yards on 6 attempts against them just last week. So they already have gotten killed by other rushing quarterbacks. And in his career, when he has 5+ rush attempts, he has had 30 or more rushing yards in 8 out of 12 games, as you can see here. He did have one game, though, where he did land on 31 rushing yards. So if you're playing this one at 30.5, he's only over in 7 out of 12 games. Although, like I said, it's a really small sample size. A lot of these games go all the way back to like 2021 or like early 2022. So he's only really had a couple of games where he's actually played in like the last 2 years. So like I said, it's a small sample size, but I think Mike McDaniel's smart enough to kind of draw him up some plays to get him using those legs, especially with seeing how good Malik Willis was using his legs last week against the Titans. I think this is a spot where Tyler Huntley will be able to use his legs, and I think he gets this one done. It should be a really good matchup here. I think there's a lot of value on this line here with it being his first start really for this team, and I think he should be able to get this one done here. I think the books are kind of faithful here in Tyler Huntley as well, considering the Dolphins are 2.5 point favorites. I know it's Tennessee Titans, but still, Dolphins being 2.5 point favorites, and they are at home. That's usually a pretty good sign there. I'm not done with the free plays quite yet, but one last reminder that you can join the DubClub right now for free. There's a 2-day free trial down in my description. Going to be posting some 8X plays out of the DubClub a little bit later today, as well as some more Monday Night Football plays. We have some more MLB playoffs tomorrow. NBA is back in less than a month. Super excited. I profited over $5,000 on PrizePicks. I'm legit. I've been doing this for a while now. Not every day is going to be a winning day, obviously, but long term, I've always profited. Also, if you want to research plays just like I do, you can join Outlier down in my description. 7-day free trial is available down there in my description. And now let's get some more free plays today from the Daily Grind tool. This right here is the PrizePicks Optimizer. This is some of the best expected value plays in apps like PrizePicks or Underdog. Right now, the top expected value play is Geno Smith to throw an interception. So like a -130, -135 on sportsbooks. Pretty favorite on those apps, which is why on PrizePicks, they like it as well. They also like Jaxon Smith-Njigba over 4.5 receptions. Pretty good here for our receiving yards play. But you can find the most up-to-date value plays by literally just clicking on the refresh button. And when you do that, it pulls the most up-to-date value plays onto the board. It's a really awesome tool that I personally love. Get it for yourself down in my description with the Daily Grind tool link. Click on the Fantasy Bundle, and then you can scroll down, and promo code DOMG will get you 25% off. There is also another tool from the same guys sold separately called the AI Sub Generator. It's up over 1,800 units since August 18th of last year. And if you take a look here, there's some underdog plays on the board. Let's go with a 6-pick insured entry right now. It has a profit margin of 42.87%, which is actually ridiculous. There's so many good value plays right now on the board, though, it looks like. They like JSN over receptions, Levis over pass attempts, a lot of esports, and some WNBA value as well. So if you want this tool for yourself, you can get it for yourself down in my description. Use that same link. This time, click the AI Sub Generator, and then you can scroll down, and promo code DOMG will yet again get you 25% off. Thank you for watching us. See you hopefully in tomorrow's video. Best luck, and if you want to say I made over $5,000 on PrizePicks, you can watch this video right here.